Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the final press conference for what will be undoubtedly a great night of boxing Saturday night here in Sheffield. This is my 5th or 6th time here for the fights, going back to Prince Nazim when he had a few fights here. And to me, it's always been a great fight town, great fans. You can see by the turnout here this afternoon that tradition is going to continue. So here to tell you more about what we're going to have and to meet some of these fighters, let me turn everything over to Mr. Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing.
Thank you, Michael. Pleasure to have you in town. Another huge turnout here in Sheffield ahead of a big fight night, the first UK fight night of 2020, live on Sky Sports and DAZN across America on Saturday night. The return of the special one, KELL BROOK against Boston's Mark DeLUCA. Great fight to kickstart a year, and what an undercard as well we've got, and we'll be hearing from all those people in due course. Still having to come to terms with the fact that Dave Allen is on the bottom table, and he's not happy, but he has told us he will see the press conference through, and he will be talking to us in due course. Before I pass over to Adam, you know, Sheffield is a great fight city we've seen over the years, and I was just talking to Michael Buffer about the night we had here at Bramall Lane, and although it didn't work out for KELL BROOK that night, and a great fight with Errol Spence, we want that rematch, it was a night that I think we'll never forget. And as fans of the sport, as fight fans, really my job is to try and create those nights that we'll never forget, and I don't think anyone that was here that night will ever forget that moment for the city and for the sport. I remember George Groves winning the world title, I remember KELL BROOK almost controlling the fight against Errol Spence through 6 rounds. We thought he was going to do it, thought it was going to be a special night here, but it was a brilliant night, and I hope we get a chance to do it again. We've got a big crowd on Saturday night. I think that's testament not just to KELL BROOK and the fighters on the card, but also the city for getting behind KELL. It's been nearly over a year since he boxed, and I was at an event last night with Carl Froch and Tony Bellew, and KELL BROOK is from that mould, that era. And as we see these emerging young fighters coming through, KELL BROOK is still there, flying the torch, and we believe he has plenty more left in the tank. But Saturday will tell us absolutely everything we need to know, because he's up against one of the gamest, one of the fittest fighters we know in Mark DeLUCA. He's boxed on our shows before, and this is the opportunity of a lifetime for him. So before we meet the fighters, again, we roll into another year with another great partnership of Sky Sports. It's been an amazing partnership with Sky, and now of course with our partners DAZN in America. Without Sky, it's back into British boxing. We know boxing's hot now. It's easy to get involved when it's hot. When it was on the floor, when we were in leisure centres with 400 people, Sky was still there. They were the only people there. And today they remain the market leader in the UK today. Of course, we want to thank as well our sponsors William Hill and JD Sports, and particularly a new partner we've brought on in a long-term promotional deal, Well Hydrate, these beautiful guys here. We all know the importance of hydration. I hope you guys have made weight well, and without doubt, Well Hydrate, the market leader for a hydration drink, to welcome them to the Matchroom Boxing family. Right now, over to the head of boxing for Sky Sports, Adam Smith.
Thanks, Eddie. Leisure centres, big arenas, stadiums, we just love boxing, don't we? I love Sheffield. Sheffield coming back here, the mid-90s. I see Alma down there, Ryan Rhodes, just seeing him. Those days with Nassim Mohammed, obviously my great mate Johnny Nelson, and Ryan and Junior Witter, Isham Pickering. Fantastic days. It's a fight city. It's brilliant. And I remember KELL when he was, I don't know, 10 or 11 in there, and he's come such a long way, and he's been a wonderful advocate for British boxing and for everyone here. It's a huge turnout, Eddie, today. A wonderful turnout. Fantastic to see the city getting back behind KELL BROOK, and it's a huge night for KELL in what's going to be a huge year again, 2020, for boxing and for boxing on Sky. We're really excited. This is the first fight night of the year. Look at this, the bottom table. Yeah, Dave, I'm so sorry you're down there. We'll try and get you back up here next time. But fantastic set of fighters down there. And the top table, absolutely brilliant. You know, really excited about all of these fights. Kid Galahad has got a real opportunity again after he came so close against Josh Warrington and deserved that he's in that elite level now. You know, he'll fight for a world title game, but only if you can come through a very tough opponent here. But it's tough fights, and that's what we want. What an opportunity for Terry Harper. Terry's been fantastic over the last couple of years. You know, Steffi's told me about her, and we've given her the chance. We've got her on. Eddie's delivered. It's been fantastic to see her grow. She's a wonderful, wonderful boxer. She's great outside the ring. We absolutely adore her, but she's got a tough test here, and a world title opportunity coming pretty early for her against Eva Volstrom, who we know very well from when she fought Katie Taylor, and she's done so much in the sport. An incredible pedigree, all that experience she brings. It's a really, really good fight. As for Kell, our Kell, what has he got left? Kell Brook, at his very best, is the best, no question about that. 14 months out of the ring, he didn't perform last time against Zarafa. Back to Dominic Ingle, he says he looks sharp, he says he's ready. Mentally and physically, he'll need to be. Against Mark DeLUCA, who we've seen a few times before, he's tough, he's got a huge opportunity here to come over and stun you guys. But Kell's telling us he's going to put on a stunning display. That's what he needs if he's going to become a two-weight champion again. I'd like to see him at this weight, but he's got a tough night against Mark DeLUCA. So I'm really looking forward to this. Back in Sheffield, great arena, fantastic fans. Bring it on, Eddie.
Thank you, Adam. Speak to the fighters on the bottom table. Start with Dante Dixon. Dante, I was in America for your last fight with Matchroom. I'm not sure if Billy Joe Saunders is here today, but your manager, who don't stop talking about you. In fact, he talks more about you than he does about his own fights. So welcome, chance to box in Sheffield on a big show, buzzing for Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm feeling very good. Through training, everything's gone well. Sparring, I'm getting the top side of these guys. I don't want to, but yeah, everything's just going good. I'm feeling good. On Saturday, I'm looking forward to putting on a punch-perfect performance. Hopefully, get him out of there early as well if I can.
What are these guys who know the sport of boxing seeing you? What are the fans going to see on Saturday night? What do we need to know about Dante Dixon?
You need to know, well, I can do everything. Box on the front foot, back foot, southpaw, orthodox, whatever you need I can do. So Saturday night you're going to see a bit of everything.
Good man, we look forward to that. Callum Bearden, obviously charged with Dave Caldwell on the show. Massive opportunity for you. Be around 8,000 in the arena on Saturday night. Great to be part of this big show in Sheffield.
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity for me, especially boxing at somewhere like Sheffield Arena, you know, my second professional fight. So big thanks to my manager Dave Caldwell for getting this opportunity and Eddie for putting this on. I think the only bigger place I could box in Sheffield would be here at Bramall Lane. Been quite a fan since I can remember. So hopefully Kell gets his world title back and he can sort of that spot on this one.
Thank you, Callum Bearden and Dante Dixon. John Doherty, if you haven't seen the Doc in action, this man is an absolute savage. Huge super middleweight. All he wants to do is knock people out, and he will try and do that from the opening bell onwards. Title fights coming for the Doc in 2020. First one of the year, Doc. Are you ready for some savagery on Saturday night?
I'm ready, boy. I'll be there to bring in the heat, as I always do. And yeah, just there's going to be a step up again after this fight here, and I'm looking forward to this year and starting the year with a bang, with a KO.
Good man, Doc. We look forward to seeing that on Saturday night. Sometimes fights on a card who, to the casual fans, might not get their attention, but to people within boxing, we know that British title final eliminators and Commonwealth title eliminators, and all these fights with two guys trying to emerge into championship fights this year, getting the opportunity to box on TV in big arenas, can bring great fights. And Anthony Tomlinson against Stuart Burt, we expect just that. A cracking 10-round fight, final eliminator for the British title. Stuart, I'll start with you. I've got to say, Stuart, I don't know if you've sold all your tickets, but you've got a lot of people coming down from Scotland on Saturday night. You fancy this?
Yeah, of course, yeah, I wouldn't be here otherwise, but yeah, I've got a good support coming down. I've got a couple of buses leaving Saturday morning, so yeah, they'll hopefully be making a hell of a lot of noise on Saturday night.
Obviously, these kind of fights can just completely change your career. You win this, you're going to be fighting for the British and Commonwealth titles as well. Anthony Tomlinson's going to have a lot of support, sold a lot of tickets himself. But basically, this is the opportunity of your career so far.
Yeah, for sure. Biggest fight so far. Like you said, these opportunities, British eliminators and Commonwealth eliminators bring out the best in you. Or that's what I'm hoping that will happen with me. You know, the best career, best performance, and another win in the cards.
opponent, Anthony Tomlinson. Anthony, I know you got massive support, not just with your fans, but Dave's fans and Terry's fans as well. It was a big night for you in your career. Great performance last time you were at the arena on the KELL BROOK card. Must win for you on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's a must win for me on Saturday night, but first of all, what a way to start 2020, be on such an undercard. I'd like to thank Matchroom Boxing, Sky Sports, my team. I'd like to thank Stuart Burt's team for getting this fight over the line, and I can't wait to fight for the British and Commonwealth title in I'm off it home.
Expecting a great fight. I remember last time you were all action. It's a big fight for you and Stuart, going to go at it non-stop. We should get a great fight on Saturday from you two.
Yeah, I've trained hard for it. Stuart's trained hard for it. I've got a lot of respect for him. But like you said, we'll leave it all in the ring on Saturday night, and I'm looking to put a performance on, so I can't wait.
10-round international contest, Martin Ward against Jesus Amparan. Firstly, I want to say that Martin Ward bang on the verge now of a world title shot. You just saw the Super Featherweight World Championship that we put on in Miami last week. It was a wonderful fight between Tevin Farmer and Jojo Diaz. Tevin Farmer was someone that Wardy's been targeting. He lost his title. Now the attention turns to Joseph Diaz. We've also been onto Golden Boy to make the fight against Castellanos, the WBA champion as well. It's a tough fight for Martin Ward. I want to welcome Paco. Paco Presents, who every time he brings a fighter to fight, they always come to fight. I think we can remember Jordan Gill against Tinoco, one of Paco's other fighters, when Tinoco stopped Jordan Gill. He also gave a great account of himself against Joe Caldina, and his charge, Jesus Amparan, will be trying to do exactly the same thing. Big puncher, great record. This is a very, very tough fight for Martin Ward as he moves on to try and challenge for a world title. Paco, welcome, and we'll ask your man how he's feeling ahead of Saturday.
Thank you, Eddie. On behalf of Jesus Amparan and his team, we would like to thank Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, the Sun, Sky Sports, and all the media here that gathered today take the time to come to the press conference, and of course, Martin Ward and the team for accepting the fight. What can I tell you about Jesus? You guys don't know much about him, but he's your typical Mexican fighter that comes forward, willing to take 2, 3, 4 punches in order for him just to land only one on his own. He knows that this is his chance, great opportunity for him, and he didn't travel this far just to come and lay down. He's gonna give his all and come on Saturday night, live on the Sun, Sky Sports, and this is gonna be a great fight. I would like to turn on the microphone to Jesus so he can say a few words on his own.
Bueno, pues primero que nada, buenas tardes a todos los presentes. Quiero agradecer a la empresa Matchroom Boxing por darme la oportunidad, al igual a toda la gente que hicieron el evento posible. En especial a mi rival.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for gathering here today, the media, Eddie Hearn, and everybody involved for making this great event possible.
Darle gracias también.
His opponent too.
En especial a mi rival por aceptar pelear conmigo. Hice una gran preparación, vengo a darles una gran pelea. Estamos en su tierra, espero regalarles un gran espectáculo. Yo vengo a pelear, no a jugar carreras. Espero les guste como mi estilo de pelea.
I feel very well prepared. I trained really hard. I know that I'm in his backyard. I hope that he stands and fights. We come here to fight, we don't come here to run. Let's give the United Kingdom a great fight. Martin Ward, let's go ahead and put on a really good fight for all your fans.
Wardy, I know you're looking for that big fight, but this one just as important to get through on Saturday night. No slip-ups as you look forward to challenging for the world title in 2020.
Yeah, of course, yes. You know, one fight at a time. I never look past no opponent, and he's young, he's hungry, he's got comes with a good record. He's coming to knock me out, and I'll be on my toes for him, and I'll be sharp, and you're going to see the best version of Martin J. Ward on Saturday night, and this guy's got his handful here.
Obviously, we know that your style and your skills against a come-forward Mexican fighter should gel into a great fight as well. of course the win is important, but also doing it in style to send a message to the division as well.
Of course. I've you know, I've had a great camp. I've trained very hard. A lot of people do say, anyways, but I haven't had a fight to show it in the last 12 months. But I'm going to put on a good display for everybody, and I hope you all enjoy it on Saturday night. This is going to be. I'm going to steal the show from KELL BROOK. It's going to be fighting tonight, and I'm going to put on an amazing performance, and I hope you all enjoy it.
Cheers, Wardy. We go to Doncaster's own Dave Allen, who I think, although he's beneath me right now, he's definitely above me.
Top table.
I can't believe it. You want to swap with Dave Allen? I think people won't realise the hoops that Dave Allen had to go through to be in the ring this Saturday night. Not just personally, but logistically. With the British Boxing Board of Control, who rightly so wanted to make sure that Dave was ready for this fight, medically, mentally, and he's ticked all the boxes. And from our point of view, and from Dave's as well, that's very important. But what Dave has shown, there have been numerous occasions when he's messaged me and say, do you know, everybody's making it so hard for me. I'm in a 6-round fight, right? I boxed Luis Ortiz, I boxed Dillian White, I boxed David Price, I boxed Tony Yoka. Anyone else, Dave?
There's a few of us.
Yeah, well, exactly. So, but at the end of the day, what Dave showed this time...
The O2.
At the O2. Oh, Lucas Brown. I think you headlined that show, didn't you? Yeah, okay. But what Dave has showed is hunger to return to the ring, and that is very important. Because there's no point just turning up for a payday in this game, especially in a heavyweight division. So, David, the mic is over to you. I know you're very excited to return to the ring at Sheffield Arena on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm very excited. It has been really hard work. I was messaging Eddie a lot, just saying, Eddie, like, what's going off? You know, some mad things have been going on, but to be honest, I am hungry to come back, and I do love boxing, but my friend Anthony Tomlinson to my right here, you know, we met 7.5 years ago, and for him to be here today, and I knew him and Terry were on the show 8 weeks ago, and I've been running through hoops. I just wanted to be on the show, you know, with Andrew. And obviously, I like Terry as well. She's took me place on top table and that. And you know, she's the most famous person in our village now. But you know, I just really wanted to be on this show with them two. And now the doc's on as well. I didn't even know the doc was on at the time. But I've just been rushing about. I wanted to be on the show so badly, just to be on the show the night that my friend, you know, proper made the big time and Terry won the WBC title. So, you know, obviously it's great that I'm boxing. It's a 6-rounder. It is what it is. Hopefully it'll be routine. Probably won't be, but I just wanted to be on the show really badly. So I've done a 12-hour round trip in the day to get certain things done. So yeah, I've actually put a lot of effort into this camp. I mean, I'll be like, yeah.
Dave, you seem to give a lot of your time to other people. You know, we've seen this bizarre relationship you have bringing these fighters through. I mean, Jay McFarlane, I think, is here as well now. I mean, just random people who you seem to be helping. And Jay's a great fighter, but I mean, he's from Scotland. I didn't even know. No, it's too late, mate. You missed it. But I didn't even know you knew him. But what is it, you know, you talk about really all you're looking forward to for Saturday, seeing your mates win. You know, you're giving a lot of time to other people in sport. This sport is very important to you and plays a big part in your life.
Yeah, you know, I've moved a few people in, Jay, Liam. My house stinks, to be honest. Like, it's a proper madhouse. But, no, you know, I just love boxing. I love, like Danny Morello over there, I met him at 15, you know, and people said, what a weirdo you are, what are you doing with this 15-year-old? I mean, you look at him now, you know, he's going to make his debut in Milan, Eddie. I don't know if you know or not, but I've already had talks.
Milan?
Yeah.
What, is that on our show?
Yeah.
All right, thanks for letting me know.
No, you know, I don't know what it is, it's just something in me. I love to see people do well, and like I said, Jay's living with me, Liam's living with me, Danny's just down the road, and I train them, and then I train myself after. You know, I've been known to cook and all for them and that time to time, and but people see what I'm doing for them and they say, oh, it's lovely what you're doing, but these get me out of bed every day, and when they train, they cannot, if I don't put 100% in, how can I expect the same from them? So I'm very proud of them. Like I always say, I've got 3 kids now. I'm very proud of all 3 of them. They're all looking at me now. Bless them, look at them, the kids over there. And I'm just so proud of them. And I need to keep boxing because, if I don't keep boxing, you know what I mean? I've got to look after 3 kids, you know what I mean? I do boxing for me because I enjoy it, but I do boxing now because I have to. Like before, I never had to do boxing. I was very happy to go back to Doncaster and, well, I was happy to live at my sister's house, to be honest. It was alright, I enjoyed it there. But now, like, I've got to do it, and I'm training and yeah, I'm just really training. I'm enjoying it, I'm loving it, and I can't wait to fight Dorian Darts, can't wait to see him and meet him. We could have got a German fella over or whatever, but I like Dorian Darts, so I wanted to meet him, so we're boxing him, and it's a good starting point, and then I can't wait.
Well, Dave, I just want to say it's great to see you back in the ring and happy and smiling. I know we're all proud of you, and your boys over there, you know, they're very proud of Daddy as well. So, well done. And we look forward to seeing the ring on Saturday night. We move to the top table. A couple of great fights up here. 3 great fights. Firstly, we saw the fight between Josh Warrington and Kid Galahad. We know Leeds felt that Josh Warrington won, Sheffield felt that Kid Galahad won. That's over now. The IBF featherweight title. Now Kid Galahad's got an opportunity to try and get another shot at the IBF world title. A final eliminator against Claudio Marrero, and this is a tough fight. For people who don't know enough about Claudio Marrero, watch the tape. He can move, he can punch. He's part of the PBC setup. They're very hungry for this fight. They want to get him to the mandatory position, and this is an absolute pivotal moment in the career of Kid Galahad. If he loses this fight, he says goodbye to world title opportunities. Simple as that. He must win this fight, and that's why we won this purse bid. He has home advantage on Saturday night, and he must make it count. Firstly, to the Marrero team, Claudio, welcome. A big opportunity for you on Saturday night, and take a step towards fighting Josh Warrington for the world title.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Claudio Marrero. Thank you, Team Marrero. Jason, thank you, everybody.
We want to thank everybody for having us here. You've been welcoming to us. The great people at Sheffield, thank you for having us here. Mr. Eddie Hearn, thank you. Kid Galahad, thanks for the opportunity as well.
Como siempre, Claudio Marrero siempre tiene hambre, siempre se levanta día a día a dar lo mejor de él en el gimnasio para dar lo mejor de sí en cada pelea.
We wake up early every day to give us 100% on a daily basis for these type of opportunities, to showcase our talent, to showcase what a complete fighter has.
He visto todas sus peleas de King Halagan, un good fight, un buen peleador, me gusta su estilo.
Kid Galahad, you're a great fighter, man. We appreciate you. You know, your fight history says it all.
Tiene mi respeto por su estilo de pelea que tiene, pero esto es otra liga, tú sabes. Yo soy un problema, arriba el ring. Todo lo que han peleado conmigo saben.
We respect you for what you are, what you have, but we're a different type fighter.
Y vas a enfrentar una cosa que tú nunca has visto en tu vida, ¿entiendes?
You're facing a storm you have never faced before.
Yo soy un problema, arriba el ring.
I'm a big problem for you.
Y el sábado tenemos un baile, ¿ok? Dance.
On Saturday night we're gonna
Yo lo
dance.
llamo dance, ¿ok? Pero, problem.
We're bringing some problems for you, buddy.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, I love that, Claudio Marrero. Well, Bazza, what you got to say about that then? He's got some problems for you on Saturday night. This is a tough fight. You know, we looked at this fight with Dom. It was an opportunity to fight for a world title again. We know this is a quality fighter you're up against on Saturday.
100%, you know, Claudio Marrero brings a lot to the table. Very well seasoned, comes from good pedigree. He can do everything, you know, he can box, he can punch. And I'm ready. You know, I know it's going to be a very hard night for me. It's Saturday night, but you know, I believe, you know, it's my time. And Saturday night, man, I just can't wait. Focused and just ready.
Obviously, you lost for the world title. You felt that you won that fight, but at this stage in a final eliminator, it's one thing losing for a world title, but obviously, you know, coming back and winning this final eliminator is a must.
It is a must, you know. If I don't win, then you're going to push me to the side, aren't you? So, you know, I've got to be on it. I've got to make sure I can't lose, and I'm just focused, man. I'm ready to go.
Good. We look forward to a wonderful fight. Galahad against Moreira. This is a high quality final eliminator for the IBF featherweight world title. We now move on to the women's world championship. The IBO and the WBC world champions, Terry Harper against Eva Wallström. You know, women's boxing, I was driving up thinking about it today. It's probably maybe coming up to 3 years since Katie Taylor first come into my office. And I just met her out of respect for someone that had achieved so much in the sport. I didn't think that women's boxing had much of a future. And having met her and listened to the way she talks and her passion for what she does, I was sold. And it's probably the best thing I've ever done in the sport, is to listen to Katie Taylor and watch how women's boxing has emerged coming through. You've seen the rise of women in tennis, you know, almost on parity now with prize money in certain events. The darts the other week, Fallon Sherrock from Nottingham is all of a sudden beating men, and now she's on parity as well. And women's boxing right now, for me, is an absolute must on every single fight card that we deliver. But every now and again you meet someone, doesn't matter if it's male or female, and there's something about them that you just like, you just love, you want to help, you want to see if you can be part of their dreams and help them achieve dreams. And they've got people around them where you can see the smiles on their faces and how much they're enjoying getting up every morning, going to work and trying to make history and create legacy. And the relationship between Steffi Ball and Terry Harper kind of made me feel that way. You know, I looked at this team, and we live in a world today, we live in a sport, and I know I'm mostly responsible for it, but it's a money-driven sport. But when you strip it all back and you remember why everybody started this sport, it's for achievements, it's for enjoyment, it's for success, it's for legacy. And I feel that with Terry and Steffi Ball, they've got such a wonderful team together that we see this young girl who really gave up boxing because there weren't any opportunities for female fighters. All of a sudden, Katie Taylor comes through, doors start opening. She turns pro with Steffi Ball. Then all of a sudden they're fighting in Sheffield, they're shifting tickets. You know, there's a real wave of support for Terry Harper. She boxes here, then she boxes at Manchester Arena on Katie Taylor's undercard against a very, very tough fighter in Vivian Obernorth. Next thing, she's boxing at Sheffield Arena for the WBC world title against Eva Wallström, one of the longest standing world champions and most respected world championship in women's boxing. She's sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tickets coming to support her. And I really like this story, really like this story. But you know what, more than anything, she can really fight, like really fight. Like, she may be the best female fighter on the planet. And I know that's a wild comment, but honestly, what I see in the gym, and I'll tell you something now, I had a member of Canelo's team message me the other day and say, you know who my favourite fighter is at the moment? Terry Harper. I mean, how bizarre is that? Of all the fighters they could have mentioned, they talked about Terry Harper, about what they see in the gym, about the improvements that she's making. And it's so great to see that the sky is completely the limit. On Saturday night, this young girl from Doncaster could completely change her life, become WBC world champion, open the doors to fighting in America, unifying, headlining here, boxing outdoors at Doncaster Rovers, fighting Katie Taylor. Who knows what's ahead? But she's got a very tough task. And Cinderella stories and nice stories don't just mean you're going to win. She might not be at the levels of Eva Wallström, but I'm going to enjoy finding out. And I promise you, the atmosphere for this fight is going to be absolutely marvellous. So, no pressure after that build-up. Terry, welcome. It's a big moment. I've seen you putting the work in every day. The support you've got here on Saturday is incredible. It's a massive moment for you.
Yeah, definitely. Also, a big thank you to Matchroom Boxing Sky Sports for this opportunity. And it seems like 2 minutes ago I was sat ringside in Manchester. Gave me a good birthday present, tell me about the fight with Eva Wallström, and here we are. It's like the camp's flown by. 12 weeks of my life dedicated in the gym over Christmas, over New Year, and it'll all be worth it Saturday night, going on with the WBC strap. It's crazy what's happening in my life. Obviously, the Katie Taylor fight that you were saying I could possibly fight, and it's something that I believe could happen now, just with how crazy my life's been for the last 2 years. Yeah, I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to Saturday night. I've had good preparation. I'm thankful for everyone coming out to support me.
Right now, there is a lot of hype. You put in some great performances. There's nothing that has necessarily said you are at elite world level yet. You always have to prove it against an elite world level fighter. This is a massive step up in class against Eva Wallstrom.
Good afternoon, Kate Taylor, pound for pound, one of the best female boxers on the planet. So obviously it's the saying of not running before you can walk. I've got to prove myself Saturday night, and that I belong here. But these are the fights that need to be shown on TV. And thank you, like as you were saying, female fights on every build possible, and this is what people need to be seeing, and it's good. It's a good 50-50 fight, and I'm ready to prove what I can do.
Thank you, Terry. Eva, welcome. I can't promise you the same build-up that I gave Terry, but what I can say is we have a massive amount of respect for you, what you've done for the sport of boxing. We know you are a world-class fighter at elite level. We saw you box Katie Taylor, of course, in New York, and it was a wonderful fight. You've been there, you've done it, you've seen it all. Another defence of your WBC world title on Saturday night.
Yeah, thank you for having me here. I think it will be a really good fight. Maybe quite even, maybe, we'll see. I think it's a fun fact that Terry is as old as long as I have been boxing. I've been boxing for 23 years, so we'll see how it goes.
Obviously, like I said, you've seen all the different parameters of women's boxing, probably from struggling in the early days to get opportunities to now travelling the world, defending your title. It's a brilliant time for women's boxing.
Yeah, it's a good time. We have good opportunities, and it was many who wanted to fight about this belt also, so I just had to choose. And now I'm here.
Thank you very much. We look forward to a great fight. Terry Harper against Eva Wallstrom for the IBO and WBC World Super Featherweight titles on Saturday night. We go to the main event, and this is a great fight. And just as much as I talk about Kid Galahad against Claudio Marrero, sometimes those fans who don't study the sport might look at it and say, oh, KELL BROOK, Mark DeLUCA, who's Mark DeLUCA? We know who Mark DeLUCA is, and KELL BROOK chose Mark DeLUCA, so did Dominic Ingle, because this is a real fight. He's boxed on a few of our shows now. Shout out to Murphy's Boxing as well for always preparing their fights as well and looking for opportunities. And Mark DeLUCA, sitting in the top 15 of the world now with the WBA, has been looking at an opportunity like this for a while. And now it comes, and I know he's going to do everything he can to try and take that opportunity on Saturday night. Mark, welcome. This is it, your moment, really. This is your moment to crack the big time.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Thanks to Eddie and Matchroom and my promoter Ken Casey for making this happen. Still a little shook up from Eddie's build-up with Terry. There's a lot of pressure. But, being in Sheffield's great. I spoke to Boom Boom Mancini, Ray Boom Boom Mancini, years ago, and I asked him if he had any advice for a young professional. And he told me to pay my dues and work hard. And I think that's exactly what KELL has done. KELL's paid his dues to boxing. He's worked hard. He's faced boogeymen in the division like Triple G and Errol Spence. And he's earned the admiration and respect from the boxing world, and that's something fighters long for, I feel. And that's why I made the pilgrimage over here to Sheffield to earn my respect to the boxing world, fighting a great fighter like KELL. So Saturday night I'm gonna do my best, and Sheffield's been really hospitable, and the opportunity in front of me is huge. So thank you for having me.
Finally, as well, we know that, as you said, KELL BROOK's resume is fantastic. I mean, the victory over Sean Porter in Los Angeles now looks better and better as the years go on. But do you feel this is the right time for you? You feel like you're the fresh fighter and you really have to leave everything in the ring to try and beat him in his backyard on Saturday?
Oh, no doubt. I think this is, I'm not going to speak for KELL, as a crossroads fight for both of us. I think KELL wants to get back to where he was, and I want to get to where he is. So I think it's an important fight, and everybody keeps, all the in interviews and stuff, they're putting the bug in my ear. How do you think KELL is? His hunger is this and that. I mean, he's a fighter, and he's here to win. He's here to beat me, and he's going to trying to do it in front of his home crowd. So I prepared for the best KELL BROOK.
Thank you, Mark. We know you give it everything on Saturday.
Oh yeah, and all that tough guy stuff Marrero said. That too. In Spanish.
KELL, you're back. I've probably not seen you with this look in your eye for a long, long time. Watching you on social media, seeing you twinkle toes around the Ingle gym. You got the hunger back. It's been over a year. I must admit, there were times when I felt you might not fight again. I'm sure you felt that way as well. How do you feel right now, ready to do it all again on Saturday night back in the arena?
Eddie, let me tell you, Eddie, that fire in the belly is there, like it's like it's never been before. You know, I've had a year out and I've found myself, and I wish I would have found myself 10 years ago, because this version of me is, you know, I just want to thank the Almighty. You know, something spiritual's come over me. There's no man who can stop me. No disrespect to Mark DeLUCA, but it could be absolutely any man opposite me Saturday night and they're getting beat. Any man. You know, I'm in a place where I've never been before, and you know, I'm flying, Eddie. I'm absolutely flying.
Well, where has that come from? Is it just a realisation now that you've still got it and you must make the most of these opportunities? We know you've had an up and down career. Some of the victories, I mean, again, we talk about the Sean Porter win. You know, you had your injuries as well. But is it just a moment in your life where you say, I've still got the time and I must make it count?
And I've still got the time. It's like I met an old friend of mine, Damon Haig. He boxed Carl Froch. You know, and I think fighters going about this, and I've always cut corners in every fight I've had, or every one of my fights. You know, and this, I won't like to leave the game without giving it my 100%. You know, win, lose or draw. At least I know myself that I've given my all, and that's all I can give. So I've been living the perfect boxing life, living like an absolute athlete, and I've never seen this version of me. You know, you can't work me hard enough. I want more. You know, I'm built for this, and this is my destiny to become a two-time world champion. 2020 is my year, Eddie, and I want you to be a fan again. I want you to be a fan again. And Saturday night, you're gonna see me. You're gonna see me special. You're gonna see a sensational performance. You can tell with the conviction I've got in my voice that I'm coming back strong this year. You line them up, Eddie, and I'm knocking them down.
Woo! I certainly will do that. We talk about the weight, 147, 154. When you talk about cutting corners, it's remarkable to hear you say that as a fighter. People won't realise when you box Sean Porter, you weren't really 100%. You know, I remember you took weight off on the morning of the fight. I don't care telling people about that. It was in America. It's allowed. On the check weight of the day of the fight, you had to take pounds off to even get in the ring. You went 12 rounds with Sean Porter as probably a bit of an inexperienced fighter. Beat him, come back. If people would have seen what you had to go through to make weight against Carson Jones, but even Errol Spence, I mean, to even...
I've always gotten just for my ability, you know, but
is it cutting corners what's been stopping you from making 47, or is 54 the division for you to make your charge? It's wide open now. We just saw Rosario, you know, win a couple of weeks ago. Is it 54? Is it 47? How do you feel as you sit here one day before the weigh-in?
Well, I'm 11 stone sat here right now. I'm on weight. I've been on weight for weeks. You know, people, I'll see me on Snapchat. I've been putting my weight on. You can't, you know, you can't give me enough fuel. I'm just flat. I'm flying. I'm happy, and an happy fighter, a dangerous fighter. You know, I think everything is, you know, everything has just been coming good. Like taking my kids to school, seeing the smile on their face, going to the gym, training absolutely as hard as I can train, resting, eating well, you know, everything. This camp has gone so well for me. You know, nobody's been phoning me up time to come to it. I wanted to do it in my heart. I've got the eye of the tiger, like I've never had it before. And you know, all we're going to expect, I know we're going to see a sensational performance Saturday, because that is the best I can be, is going to be Saturday night. This is the best I've ever been in my life.
And final question, people talk about you were a little bit flat against Zarafa. We saw Zarafa go on and beat Jeff Horn as well. I think that was an underrated victory, but it wasn't your best performance. Obviously you need the win on Saturday night, but you want to look good. It's not just about the win. It's about wowing the fans.
It's not just about getting the win and scraping through. I need to be sensational. If I'm the special one, and I'm going to be a two-time world champion, you know, I've got to take care of DeLUCA. You know, Sheffield's known for the crucible. You know, I've got a snooker, the bazooka. And that's what I'm going to do Saturday night. Don't worry about that, baby. It's coming. Brownies are coming. Don't worry about that.
I'm bringing the vanilla ice cream. You bring the brownies.
Vanilla life from chocolate brownies. Let's mix them up.
Thanks, guys. It's a great fight. KELL Brook against Mark DeLUCA. I've got to say, that was a cracking press conference. I'm buzzing for Saturday night. And I want to thank everyone for turning out here today. It's a great fight city. We're We're really hyped for 2020. Sky Sports, Saturday night, don't miss it. We're going to have head-to-heads up here now with the people whose opponents are here. The weigh-in tomorrow. Please be there, support the guys. And if you haven't got your tickets for Saturday night, get them. It's going to be a big crowd, great atmosphere. We'll see you for a cracking show. Thanks as always for your support. Thank you very much.